Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Brandon Long back again with another episode of the Go Long Sports Show. Today, we'll be discussing the NFL for the first time in the history of the show. Very excited. NFL season's around the corner. The off season so far has been kind of quiet. Teams are gearing up. A lot of the big moves have been made already. So, we're going to get into some lists today. Today, or tonight as it is, we'll be going over my top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL, and we'll be comparing it to the top 10 quarterbacks ranked by the NFL quote unquote experts, the GMs, the coaches. Some of the players are the same on the list, but some of them, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Okay. So, once again, the top 10 quarterbacks, in my opinion, and my opinion is the only one that matters right now. Okay. So, I'm going to start off with the honorable mention, not in the top 10. A couple of these guys, honestly, aren't worth mentioning in my opinion. So I might just cut them out. But there's a couple dudes that I need to address why they're not on my list. The first one and the closest one to being on my top 10, Kyler Murray of the Arizona Cardinals. He did not make my top 10. Is he a top 10 talent? Yes. Is he one of the most fun players to watch in the NFL? Yes. Is he one of the most electrifying college best athletes ever played? Could have went to MLB and is an NFL quarterback, first overall pick in the draft. Yes, but here's why. And I'm not usually one to just write people off because of their size. Just to see him off bat and say that he was too little to even play the game in football is a lazy take. But after what I've seen, he's not in my top 10 because he's too little. Noogie time. No, I'm just joking. But he's really too little. Like, he begins the year off hot every year, especially like past season. You see the Cardinals, I think they began the season 6-0, maybe 8-0. Check me on that. But he can sustain numbers and put up great numbers the first half of the season. But the second half of the season is when he becomes a completely different quarterback. His play just deteriorates, and that's because he gets injured. He gets hit. He hurts his shoulder. He hurts his ribs. He hurts an ankle. So he really needs to work on just giving up on some plays. A lot of his injuries come because he's so dynamic. He's so more athletic than everybody else that he just trusts his athleticism. If there's nothing there, he's going to make something out of nothing. And he's willing to put his body in the line, which is honorable. But you're putting your team at risk, man, because you guys have no business getting blown out by 35 in the first round of the playoffs. That's just unacceptable if you're Kyler Murray. So he really needs to take a look at his style of play. Not his style of play. His style of play is fine because it's working. Got him to the playoffs for the first time in a while. It's electrifying. He made the Pro Bowl this year. But he needs to find a way to stay more durable, whether it's putting on more size or whether it's getting rid of the ball when he needs to. I love Kyler Murray, one of my favorite players to watch, but you are not on the top 10 because of your durability, little guy. Next. And honestly, this is the last honorable mention that I'm going to mention because it's very upsetting. This guy right here that I'm about to say is in danger of becoming the most overpaid player in NFL history, and that is Dakota Prescott, quarterback of America's team, a.k.a. the Dallas Cowboys. Dak came on the scene in about 2016 with Zeke. Everybody remembers the year they went like 13-3, lost to Green Bay Packers. Had an amazing throw by Aaron Rodgers on the sideline to Jared Cook, who's now playing for my San Diego Chargers. This guy has everything. He fits the eye test. He's big, strong. He's athletic enough to do whatever he needs to do out there. Decent arm, not the best arm. And over the years, accuracy was a problem. He's tightened up on his accuracy over the past few years, so it's really not an issue. But there's just something about Dak Prescott that doesn't scare me if I'm on the other side. He can make all the throws. He can run. He's tough. He's a fucking juggernaut out there. It's probably 6'3", between 230 and 240. He has everything. He says he'll eat a bowl of Campbell's soup. He'll go to the press conference, say the right thing. He'll smile, kiss the baby, everything. But when you look at Dak Prescott's eyes in the fourth quarter, you're down by 5, 2 minutes left. You need a touchdown. He is not Tom Brady. Hell, he is not even Eli Manning. You don't see Dak Prescott against your team with the ball, game on the line. It's a 4-down territory. He just doesn't scare me. I'm sorry. I don't know what it is. And I don't know if that's something that I've ever seen switch in a player. Yes, guys have gotten hot over the playoffs, like Joe Flacco, and turned into just completely different guys. But that's not Dak Prescott's case. I haven't seen him just completely turn it on in the playoffs. And it's not like he's mediocre enough to the point where if he did turn it off and turn it on in the playoffs, he would look like a totally different guy. You expect him to turn it on. You're paying. He made $75 million last year. $75 million. To do what? To get your ass kicked by the Jimmy Garoppolo? Get that money to Jimmy G. What has Dak Prescott done? $75 million that Jimmy Garoppolo has not done. And that is a damn shame. A goddamn shame. $75 million to get your ass kicked by Jimmy Garoppolo, who they're begging to replace. Begging. You know what I would have done if I was Jerry? That shit Dak Prescott want to hold a gun to my head talking about $75 million? Bye, nigga. Russell Wilson's on the market. Deshaun Watson's on the market. Bye. I'm rich already. I'm Jerry, nigga. Sure. Just paid Zeke that bullshit. Listen, man, the Cowboys are this is a do or die. This is a do or die season. I'm gonna say definitely for Zeke Elliott, because if he don't rush more than if he doesn't, he's a fullback. He's a Toby Gerhart. He's not better than Leonard Fournette right now, and he's getting paid $90 million. It's ridiculous. So this is the big year for Dak Prescott, man. And honestly, his receiving core, it's worse. It didn't get better from last year. They lost Amari. They lost Cedric Wilson. They paid Michael Gallup, but he's coming off of ACL, so who knows how long it's going to take him to get his feet under him. It's CeeDee Lamb or bust on the offense. You lost Blake Jarwin. He was okay, but inconsistent. I love their tight end. What's 86? What's his name? He reminds me of a young Jason Witten, just a little bit more wiggle. Dalton Schultz. I like Dalton Schultz, and I love Tony Pollard. He's better than Zeke at this point. But Dak, basically this year is just Jerry saying hey man, it's on you. I paid you $75 million last year. You're making a shit ton of money this year. I think over $40 to $45 million this year. Come on, man. Show me why the fuck I paid you $75 million to get your ass kicked by Jimmy G on national television. Show me why, okay? So, I'm done with honorable mentions. Dak Prescott pissed me off. Done talking about it. Go eat some Campbell's, nigga. Since that's what the fuck you want to do. You want $75 million and to eat Campbell's when you feel like it? No. I'm sorry. Don't work like that. You got it. If every time I got to turn on TV, I got to see you start sleeping. I got to see you with a bowl of soup. Some bullshit. I need you to at least win one playoff game. Jimmy Garoppolo has won more playoff games than the Dallas in the last 3-4 years than the Dallas Cowboys have in 25 years. And that is a goddamn disgrace. The Dallas Cowboys are the most valuable team in the world, not in America. They're the highest priced team in the world. That's including FC Bayern. That's including Real Madrid, PSG, Man U, Manchester. What's the other shit? Barcelona. Highest above the Yankees, the Lakers. Unacceptable for this mediocrity. And I blame Jerry. Take some of the blame too, because he's the one who paid him. He's the one who want to eat salt and pepper cheeseburgers and shit on Hard Knocks and want the camera on him. But at the end of the day, that man who touches the ball every play on offense, it's on you, Dak. So I love the Cowboys. I like Dak. I want to love Dak. But you got to show me something. I can't give you $75 million and then you get your foot in your ass by Jimmy Garoppolo, who they just drafted a rookie and said, get the hell out of here. You took us to the NFC Championship game, the Super Bowl in the past 3 years. Get the hell out. We don't want you no more. And what the hell are you doing, Dak? If they saying that to him, what should the Cowboys be saying to you? Honestly, let's go. Let's get this list on. At number 10 on my NFL top 10 quarterback list. This 10 and 9, I'm going to tell you, it was tough. It was tough because it's a couple guys that are damn good quarterbacks. but once past, I just couldn't look past. Matthew Stafford is number 10 on my list. Super Bowl winning quarterback, didn't win the MVP. Cooper Kupp won the MVP. He has all the talent in the world. He's your who's that said it? And he's your favorite quarterback's favorite quarterback. Kind of. That's the kind of vibe that you get from the way that guys like Aaron Rodgers talk about him. The way that Bruce Arians is quoted on saying, "Oh, I just like to go out to the warm-ups and watch Matthew Stafford throw the ball like he don't got Tom Brady on his fucking team." Shut up. But I get it. He's a awesome arm talent. Can make all the throws, and he won a Super Bowl. What can you say? Can't say nothing to them. He's a made man. With that Super Bowl win, he's a Hall of Famer. He's not Phillip Rivers. He's not Tony Romo. Those guys with a Super Bowl win are hands down Hall of Famers. Matthew Stafford, congratulations. You're on the Hall of Fame. Played your ass off. Didn't fuck the game up. That's all, because that Rams team last year was loaded, and they are loaded this year again. And in my opinion, the favorites to repeat. Do I think they're going to repeat? No. But do I think they should be the favorites? Yes, hands down. So Matthew Stafford, number 10. Okay, the reason he's number 10, like I said, I can't look past this past. You were 74, 90, and 1 as a starting quarterback for the Detroit Lions for 13 years. You can't tell me that there's guys that if you would have put them in that same situation, Aaron Rodgers ain't going 74, 90, and 1 on the goddamn in an arena league. If he take an arena league to the NFL for 13 years, arena team, he's not going 74, 90, and 1. So that Super Bowl got you off the hook, Matt, because you would have been below Dak Prescott talking about that 74, 90, and 1. But congratulations once again. Golf clap, Matthew Stafford. Kudos, young man. And on we go. Number 9. And I'm going to get a lot of heat about this because he seems to be Twitter's fan favorite quarterback in the league. Like, you guys know, like, I don't let Twitter make my own opinion. And it's easy for a lot of you to just see one thing on Twitter repeatedly so much that you start to believe it. And number 9, Twitter might tell you that this guy's the best quarterback, the best young quarterback in the NFL. He's a damn good quarterback, damn good leader, a baller, cool. Then the NFL's Jack Harlow, Joe Burrow. If Jack Harlow got KFC, Joe Burrow need a Popeyes commercial. Niggas love Joe Burrow. I swear to God, you niggas love Joe Burrow. So Joe Burrow, arguably the greatest season in college football history. Second greatest, in my opinion. I think Mac Jones had the greatest. But Joe Burrow won the Heisman. He's a baller, man. Like, what can you say? Like, he's cool under pressure. He's a guy that when he has the ball, unlike Dak Prescott, he's a guy that when he has the ball at the end of the game and your team's up 4, 2-minute drill, you know it's 4-down territory, and you have to stop him from getting a touchdown. You look in Joe Burrow's eyes and you can see that he wants it. He's not scared. And I think that's really his biggest asset of his game. He has fucking balls. He's not the most athletic. He's a good athlete. Was an all-state high school basketball player in Ohio. I don't know. Bron's from Ohio, so you can't really shit on the high school basketball scene. All-state basketball, so he can move around. Even after the ACL injury, you seen what he did last year. Took a team that nobody thought was going to make the Super Bowl to the Super Bowl. So Jamar Chase, he has weapons over there. Jamar Chase, Joe Mixon, Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins. They got a squad. I don't know if they lost their tight end or not. I think his last name's like Who's a Mama, something like that. Some big Middle Eastern dude it looks like. But they got weapons over there, so they're gonna be they have to shore up the O-line for him to make sure that he doesn't get hurt. Because if you guys are watching the Super Bowl, paying attention, it almost looked like he got rolled up in the Super Bowl. Almost like he didn't tore some shit in the Super Bowl towards the end of the game. So they really need to just keep continuing to build the O-line because they got the weapons for the next few years for them to be able to put up the numbers and be good enough to get back to the Super Bowl or at least the AFC Championship game, be a contender every year. So number 9, Joe Burrow, he's a baller. His biggest asset is he's not scared of the moment. And there's a lot of quarterbacks who are scared on the moment. Dak Prescott. Number 8. The rub and tug master himself, Deshaun Watson. he would have been higher, but he really hasn't played football in a year and won't play football for, it's not official, but probably almost 2 years. So him being on this list just goes to show the amazing athlete, the amazing quarterback he is. He can run around the field, he's just awesome. Like, allegations aside, let him get all that settled. I don't think he's a criminal, but I do think he's a sick nigga. I wouldn't leave him around my sister, I'll tell you that. But the best way to describe his game is awesome. You watch that guy play, he's just a playmaker. Dabo Swinney's quoted as saying Deshaun Watson is the Michael Jordan of football. I wouldn't say all that. He might be the Robert Kraft of football, because remember Robert Kraft got caught up with the rub and tug stuff too. But he's a damn good football player. And he's a guy. I don't want to say he's a killer like Tom Brady. He was in college. We got to see more. I still need to see more, because he blew that lead against the Chiefs 2 years ago in the playoffs, a game he should have won. But he's a damn good quarterback. You can build a team around him, and I definitely see why Cleveland paid him the best contract in NFL history. He earned it on and off the field. Okay. Number 7. And for this quarterback, it seems like you guys just forget about this guy. He reinvented the way that the mobile quarterback is looked at, and that's Russell Wilson. Before Russell Wilson, we had Mike Vick, Vince Young, Randall Cunningham, guys like that, guys who could run, make defenders miss in the open field. But the knock on them was they're just going to look to run. When things go south in the pocket, they're going to get out of there. Michael Vick, especially early on Michael Vick wasn't shit. Pass plays was looking like QB draws. I'm not saying he was bad. I loved Michael Vick, but the difference between Russell Wilson and guys like Michael Vick is that when he starts running around the pocket, the defense is terrified, because he's not running to just run and get a first down. He's running to buy more time. And all my football players out there, all my experts know, it's impossible to guard a receiver for more than 5 seconds, and it's indefinitely impossible to guard an NFL receiver for more than 5 seconds. So the longer he's back there running around, making guys miss, D tackles getting tired, someone's going to be open. And that's how a lot of his big plays have come across the year. And last year was just a shit show season over there. You see, he won it out. He didn't want to be there. He didn't want to be there in the first place. It's bad morale. Him and Pete Carroll clashing. They're really just shitty all around. It's just weapons. He doesn't even have Tyler Lockett's a beast. Metcalf's a beast. All right, let me not say his weapons are bad, but the offensive line was terrible. The defense was mid-pack. And they just had a lot of issues within the building. This was the worst that the Seattle Seahawks have looked at since he's gotten there. And I think in Denver, Denver's one of those teams that no matter who's at quarterback, and me being a Chargers fan, so I'm an AFC West, I know a little bit about what I'm talking about, they're going to have a good defense. You could just, for all my fantasy football players out there, everybody taking, any year, take Denver defense. You will not be disappointed. They sucked last year, 2 years ago, and this year, their defense was one of the top defenses. And it will be the same next year. Just something about playing at that mile-high stadium, the cold, their defense especially at home, their defense it's hell to deal with. So Russell Wilson, put some respect on that man, saying that's still Russell Wilson. Okay. And number 6, speaking of respect, this guy might be becoming the most disrespected player in the NFL. The way y'all talking about him, I just seen him arguing on Twitter with a player today, talking about he's not that dude, and that is Lamar motherfucking Jackson, number 6 on my list. Lamar Jackson. Coming into the draft, he was the 32nd pick in the draft, which is ridiculous if you look at the accolades, the Pro Bowls, the unanimous 2019 MVP, which is, if you got time, go watch his highlights from his MVP season. Honestly, one of the best mixtapes of all time. There's no highlight tape. The highlight tape can't get better than what Lamar Jackson did. It was awesome. The NFL was the Lamar Jackson show. So some of the things that they say about Lamar Jackson is he's not accurate, which especially coming into the NFL, they said he's not accurate. He can't throw. But all I see, I watch the tape. I don't look at the intangibles. I don't look at all the other bullshit y'all talking about. I watch the tape. What do I see on the tape? And a lot last year, that's what I seen with Mac Jones. The tape is good. I I know he might be slow white boy, but the tape is good. So what? Just listen to y'all and throw away all this magnificent tape? No, watch the tape. So Lamar Jackson in college, all he was doing was hitting niggas in between the numbers for 60-yard touchdowns. What do you mean he can't throw? He flicks the ball and he's hitting niggas in stride all day. He's jumping over people. The one thing I say about Lamar Jackson, especially, he's arguably the greatest college quarterback ever. Arguably, even though he didn't win a championship, he went to Louisville. Their gold standard was Teddy Bridgewater before that. So let me just walk you through some of his college highlights, college numbers, which are ridiculous. College, he passed for 9,043. This is over 3 seasons. He passed for 9,043 yards and threw 69 touchdowns. He rushed for 4,132 yards and 50 touchdowns. So that's over 1,300 yards total and 119 touchdowns in 3 years. He's a video game. So, and he's, when I watch him play, he can throw the ball. He definitely struggles throwing the ball outside the numbers, but that's because Marquise Brown, he's not an outside deep threat. He's more of a slot deep threat. Yeah, he's an outside deep threat, but he's a little guy. He can get pushed around. He's had some problems with drops. So if they get him the right, like if he had even an Amari Cooper, Lamar Jackson with Amari Cooper and Mark Andrews running up the middle, the run game's going to always be good because he's such a threat that's one more guy you got to account for in the run game. So that takes pressure off the running back. Plus, they had a whole bunch of running back injuries last year. He's going to be good for a long time. He's a stud. Kind of lost my point right there, but let's keep going. Lamar Jackson, put your respect on that man's name. And the Ravens, you better pay him. Okay. Take any college quarterback. Think about who your favorite college quarterback is. Yeah, Cam Newton. Oh, Baker Mayfield. Oh, Tua. Oh, whoever else. Say you're the coach of that college team, and Lamar Jackson walks on your campus as a walk-on, and you watch him during those first practices. What are you going to do? Ask yourself that. What are you going to do? You got a quarterback, Baker Mayfield. This nigga's over here hurdling the whole starting defense and scout. What are you going to do? So that's what I'm saying. I don't think there's a college quarterback I would have taken over Lamar Jackson in history. Not sorry. Number 5. Okay, now this top 5 is where it's getting good, and this is where this makes me happy. And this isn't biased because he's only at 5. Justin Herbert. This kid, man, he's honestly, like I said, I'm a Chargers fan. He's a godsend. He has no weakness in his game. He's fast. He's faster than Josh Allen, straight line speed. Josh Allen's a little shiftier. When he came into the league, I compared him to Josh Allen because they both have those rocket arms. They're big, around the same weight, athletic as hell. Like I said, Josh Allen, he got a little bit more wiggle. He'll throw in a hurdle. Herbert, once he gets going, he's faster. But you get the point. He can make all the throws on the run, in the pocket. He's strong in the pocket, and he can be a killer. He's a killer in the fourth. He's a guy you fear when he has the ball. He hasn't made the playoffs because we all know the turmoil that the Chargers have been cursed with over the past 20 years. It's I don't want to talk about it. It's tough. It's a lot like the Cowboys, honestly, and I'll make an episode about that one day, but not today. This guy can make all the throws, and he's someone that you can give the keys in good faith of your franchise with and trust him with. You're very happy. I tell a lot of people, listen, if you got the guy at quarterback, these top 5, if you got honestly, most of this top 10, if you got any of these guys at quarterback, you have a chance to win every game you play with the right quarterback, not you, Dak Prescott, once again. So, Justin Herbert, and I just can't wait to see what this guy does next year. Honestly, I think I've seen a stat. He has the most touchdowns through 2 years over any other quarterback. He thinks 69. A lot of people were bitching about that because Patrick Mahomes threw 50 in his quote-unquote first year. That was actually his second year. But who's to say Patrick Mahomes go out there that first year and don't break his leg the first play of the game? So shut up. He don't got the record. Justin Herbert do. Deal with it. Facts over feelings. Okay, so Justin Herbert, number 5, the future of the Chargers. I think this guy has a chance to win the Super Bowl, win MVPs, Super Bowl MVPs, special Hall of Fame talent. And the thing I love about him, especially being in that AFC West division, oh, God, that's killer quarterback play. the best quarterback division in the NFL. To beat those guys, the Kansas City Chiefs, you got to have the quarterback. You got to. You're not going to beat them without the quarterback. You see Cincinnati beat them, they got the quarterback. The Chargers, you give themselves a chance with Herbert against that guy. And the reason that they didn't make the playoffs last year is I'll tell it to you straight. Their run defense was non-existent. But more importantly, their coach was a jackass. This nigga thought he was playing Madden in franchise and that the games you lose, he could just pause it before the game ends, quit and restart it. The shit he was doing. He was going for it on 4th and 7 in the second quarter, right before the half, at our own 2. Oh, don't get me started on that guy. He's a turkey. What type of coach has a private Twitter? That's how you know you're on bullshit. When you got a private Twitter. Who does that? It's a coach, an NFL coach, a public figure is scared to take the heat for his bullshit calls, so his Twitter's on private. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. Absolutely insane. And that should just let you know what type of guy he is. I wouldn't have fired Anthony Lynn. Lynn wasn't the problem. But hey, y'all know what that is. Number 4. And the only reason I did not put Justin Herbert ahead of this guy, first off, let me say his name, Josh Allen. And he deserved it. The only reason I didn't put Herbert, I trust Herbert's decision-making more than this guy. But I can't. He's done more than Herbert. He's been to the playoffs twice. So, and he's an all-time talent as well. This guy, he's like a 6'5", more athletic Brett Favre, man. Like, this guy will get out there and he'll try anything. He's just a baller. Like, when I see him play, he reminds me of, he's like out there like Huckleberry Finn, just out there. He might as well be I could see him playing with no shoes on. He could be out there with no shoes on, still balling, throwing bombs, 80-yard bombs on the run. Rifle, arguably, probably has the strongest arm in the NFL and could put the most velocity on the ball. He's stronger than Aaron Rodgers, stronger than Herbert and Mahomes. There's only 4 guys you can talk about when you talk about the strongest arm in the NFL. And most people will tell you it's Josh Allen. So the Bills are going to be good this year. They picked up Von Miller, Stephon Diggs. They got a good chemistry between those two. And I think in a lot of polls, they're the favorite to win the Super Bowl this year. And I get it. But his decision-making can be faulty at times. That's all I'm going to say. Like, he can make the plays. You seen that playoff game with the Chiefs last year, the shit he was able to do. But he'll fuck up. He will fuck up. You can trust him with your keys, with the keys to your franchise, but just know that one day it might come back with a dent in the license plate. You can be like, what happened? Like, the fuck happened? Not a major dent. It's a little dent, but you just dented my car, dude. What are you doing? So he's going to be good for a long time, but we'll just see. We'll see what his ceiling is. He's another guy him and Herbert have. Their ceiling is you can't even see it. Number 3. And these top 3, I'm pretty sure everyone knows who they are. Not the order, but it's tough. It was tough when you get to these 3. And 3, I went with Tom Brady. The greatest quarterback of all time, hands down. And in a sport like football, to be the greatest of anything says a lot because there's been so many people that have played. And in any sport, there's debates over who's the GOAT. There's no debate over who the GOAT quarterback is. For anybody born past 1980, there's no debate. It's Tom Brady. He's not the most talented. He's not the strongest arm. He's not the smartest. Peyton Manning might have been smarter, but there's just something about this guy where he's able to make teams believe that they can win Super Bowls and reach Super Bowls. 7 and 3 in the that's crazy. People don't go to 10 Super Bowls. People don't even play 10 seasons. That's almost 4 times the amount of the average football career. And this guy's been to 10 Super Bowls and he's won 7 of them. So what can you say? I didn't really see a decline last year in his play, even at the age of 44. I think he'll be 45 this year. Like you guys remember when Drew Brees was playing, and like towards the end of that season with the Saints, like his arm, he just couldn't put any velocity on the ball. He was just done. He was like, he might as well have been like a turkey out there throwing the ball. I don't see that with Tom Brady. I don't see no drop off when it's cold. Towards the end of the year, I don't see any wear and tear. Even a couple years ago, he played with a torn MCL. So until he shows me that he's not a top 3 quarterback in the league, I'm just give him that respect. And he's putting up the numbers. Just won the Super Bowl, not last year, but the year before. So Tom Brady, the GOAT. Really don't have to say much. Okay. At number 2, Aaron Rodgers. What an interesting career, right? When Aaron Rodgers won the Super Bowl in 2010, there's no way that if you'd have told me, or 2010, 11, one of the two, it might have been, I think 10 or 11, one of the 2 years. There's no way you could have told anybody who paid paid attention to the NFL that we're sitting here 12 years later and that would be his only time in the Super Bowl. Not his only win, his Super Bowl win, his only time making it to the Super Bowl. He's 1-4, maybe 1-5 in NFC Championship games. And there's something about him that he doesn't play his best football in the playoffs unless he's playing against the Dallas Cowboys. Like Dallas Cowboys, Aaron Rodgers he has more rings than Tom Brady. If that nigga played like in the playoffs like he does against the Cowboys, he kills them. But there's something about him. I don't know what it is. It's kind of like, it was kind of like the Peyton Manning syndrome where it's like, I'm so great in the regular season that with the pressure, there's no do-overs. It's something about him feeling like he has to live up to himself and who he is. He always seems to not perform as well in the playoffs as he does during the regular season. He's had everything you can ask for. He's had great receivers, good defenses. He always has a good offense. Pretty much, they've had 3 back-to-back 13-3 seasons, back-to-back-to-back. And only reason I put him ahead of Tom Brady is the two back-to-back MVPs he just won. So it's like, what more could you want a quarterback? Arguably, most people would say the greatest quarterback talent they've ever seen in their life. Arguably, the best arm in NFL history. Those of sweetest football, the king of the Hail Mary, all these accolades. So Aaron Rodgers one day is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Who knows how many touchdowns, passes he's going to throw, how many records he's going to break. But he really needs another Super Bowl. There is no reason why Aaron Rodgers and Joe Flacco, Aaron Rodgers and Trent Dilfer, Aaron Rodgers and Nick Foles have the same amount of Super Bowl rings. That's just unacceptable. So just the type of guy he is, they'll probably be right back in the mix this year. Probably go 12-5, 13-4, and he'll have another opportunity at it. So really not much you can say. Back-to-back MVPs. His legacy, his numbers speak for themselves. Barely throws any interceptions. Who wouldn't want Aaron Rodgers as their quarterback? But there's something missing. I don't know. He's kind of like the Kevin Durant of the NFL, you know? He's just undeniably great, but there's something missing. There's something missing. That's how I'll leave it at. Number 1, you guys know who it is. Patrick Mahomes. Tom Brady's the GOAT. But you can say pretty confidently that when this guy's done playing, he's going to be the greatest of all time. Because he's nowhere near done yet. No matter what, it just seems like no matter what with this guy, especially in that offense with Andy Reid, especially when he had Tyreek Hill, that's the end of an era right there. His career might be broken up into 2 different sections, pre-Tyreek Hill and post-Tyreek Hill. So we'll see. But in that offense, the tape that he's shown us so far, it's like this guy's it's like Superman. There's nothing he can't do. Throws the ball with his left hand, flips it, behind the back passes, runs around the field. He's mobile. He could run for 30 yards on you. He can make any throw in the book. Has to be smart as hell out there, durable. So there's like I said, you could say with confidence that one day he can be the greatest quarterback of all time. And you cannot say that about a lot of people over the history of the NFL. He's one of those guys where after those first couple seasons, after he won the Super Bowl, I said, damn, when is this guy going to stop? That Tom Brady really stopped that momentum a little bit, but he'll be right back. They had the game against Cincinnati, but the whole team took their foot off the gas. And yeah, that's on Mahomes, but it's on everybody else too. So I don't blame that loss on him too hard. He's just a guy where it's just his ceiling is a lot, like I said, like Herbert and Allen, but his might be even higher than them. And you know how highly I think of Justin Herbert and Josh Allen. It just seems like if there's a will, there's a way. Look at that AFC Championship game against, the divisional round last year against Buffalo. They're fucking down by a touchdown with like 13 seconds left. Who else would go get a touchdown right there? Or no, down by 3 with 13 seconds left and start the ball at 25. Who else is going to get them in the field goal range like that? Aaron Rodgers, maybe. But nah, 13 seconds? 13 seconds. Got 50 yards in 13 seconds, field goal. Bam. You just knew. When he stepped on the field, I feel like everyone knew, like, 13 seconds, fuck, that's too much time. If there's 13 seconds left and I'm saying there's too much time, you're special. You know what I say? If Dak Prescott has the ball at the 25 with 13 seconds, I say, I'm going to go home, heat up a bowl of Campbell's. This shit's over. So, it's just nothing you can say. Like, so, basically with this guy, you just got to see where he takes it. He has the right coach. He's in the right system. He's had the right teaching so that when Andy Reid does retire, he'll be like a Peyton Manning type guy where, like, he can run the team by himself, I feel like. His game, because his mobility and his playmaking and his like, he's big. He's a big boy. Patrick Mahomes like 6'3", 240 himself. And it's not like he's like ripped. He's almost damn near built like a corn-fed guy. So, like I say, he's kind of like a mixture of Aaron Rodgers, Ben Roethlisberger, and Peyton Manning. Accuracy-wise, Peyton can run around. You know how Ben used to run around with the ball like this, throw the pump fakes all over the field. Prime Ben, niggas remember. He can do that, and he's Aaron Rodgers with the throws on the run, just some spectacular plays. He is the new age, the prototype for the new age NFL quarterback, the perfect quarterback. So there you go. That's my list. Top 10. I'm going to start it from the bottom. Matthew Stafford, Joe Burrow, Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, Josh Allen, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes. The 2 honorable mentions, I'll read you the whole honorable mention list I had. I had Kyler Murray, Derek Carr was in there, and Campbell's Soup. Okay. All right, guys.